Hey, what's good, YouTube family? Coach Draw here. I want to talk about three things a relationship need to survive. A relationship or a marriage need these three things: connection, communication, and God. Now, there may be some other things you can add in there, but my opinion, connection and communication and God pretty much sums up everything else that you want to add to that. Like you may say quality time. Well, quality time is part of connecting. When you spend time with somebody, y'all is connecting. So that's the problem with relationships and marriages. People don't establish a connection. You don't establish a connection first. The first thing you got to do when you start dating somebody, during the talking stage, during the dating stage, is to establish a connection. That means two individual people coming together, connecting, being on one accord. You know, that means, in other words, your core values and your core belief are similar or they match up. I did an illustration on my previous video, like how, if I take a LG phone and that same charger I used to charge my Samsung phone, it didn't go in because they're not compatible. They're not compatible. So therefore, there cannot be a connection. So whenever you are dating somebody and your core values and your core belief does not match up, y'all are not compatible. According to my research, the number one reason for divorce is incompatibility. So many people are getting married and not compatible. You know why? Because they never established a connection. You cannot just get into a relationship and not build a firm foundation. And the foundation of the relationship should be a connection, coming together on one accord. Core values and core beliefs are similar or they match up. Like for an example, I believe a man should lead with love, and a woman should submit to a man as he lead to the Lord, as he submit to the Lord. So now I might meet a woman and she might say, "Well, I don't believe in submitting to no man. I ain't submitting to nobody. This and that and the other." Then guess what? There's no connection. So what I gotta do, I gotta say, "Well, I understand. I appreciate you. Nice meeting you. Nice knowing you, but I see right now we can't connect because we can't walk on the same page." In the good book, it say how can two walk together unless they agree. So our core values and core beliefs don't match up. We can't connect. You gotta understand that. So whenever you're dating somebody during the talking stage and dating stage, the connection gotta be there. Your core values and core beliefs gotta be similar or be the same. You don't have to force nobody to spend time with you, make you a priority. You don't have to blow them out their phone up. Whenever you gotta force a person to be with you, or force a person to be in your life, that person is not connected to you. There's no connection. The second thing is communication. See, a lot of people say, "Well, communication, I communicate, but we still don't get along. We still don't talk because you are trying to communicate with somebody who you're not connected to." Whenever you trying to communication, just basically talking to somebody and sharing your feelings. Like for example, you may feel like in a relationship that you and your partner might need to make more time for each other. So you may say, "Hey, baby, I like for us to spend more time together, go on date nights and do stuff like that." If that person is not connected to you, they're gonna look at you and make every excuse in the world why they can't make time for you. "Well, I work a lot of hours. I do this, I do that, I do that." Why? Because they are not connected to you. And you communicated, and that communication will be ineffective because you are trying to communicate with somebody who is not connected to you. So communication is the key to a successful relationship. It is the lifeline in the relationship. It's like oxygen. It need oxygen, like you need oxygen to breathe. Communication, a relationship need communication to survive. So, but if you are communicating with somebody who does not is not connected to you, is going to be ineffective. I want you to understand that. It don't make no sense communicating with somebody who have not established a connection. Y'all on a different page. Like for an example, you may believe that, for the female, that the man is a provider and protector. Now, that man may not believe that. He may believe in 50-50. He may believe in, equal right and all that kind of stuff. Now, so if you continue to date a man like that, that means y'all ain't connected. So when y'all get married, when y'all get into a exclusive relationship, or when y'all get married, you're gonna be telling him, well, I need some more money for these bills. They're gonna look at you come with every excuse in the world because why? Y'all are not connected. You communicate with them, telling them what you need, but they still won't do it because there's no connection. The foundation has not been laid. And this is why I always say the worst thing you can do is start off having sex in a relationship, rushing in the bedroom, because like I always say, sex, clouds of judgment. Now you playing with a whole different ball game. You going on the sex. You're not going on the things that I'm telling you. And the last thing that a relationship need and a marriage need is God. If two people come together and put God in the middle of the relationship, what I mean by that, I'm not talking about going to church. I'm not talking about people who know the Bible. I'm talking about people who living the Bible, people who living what they know, people who are practicing, because it's gonna take God to keep that relationship together. Because it's gonna be some times in that relationship that y'all gonna get upset, y'all gonna argue. But if both of y'all put God first, the marriage will work. But if you married to somebody and you putting God first and they ain't putting God first, guess what? It ain't gonna work. Both people gotta come together and put God first. If both people come together and obey God's commandment and do what God's word say when it comes down to a relationship. For example, the Bible says, anger but sin not. Don't let the sun go down upon your wrath. So if we all argue or disagree, two people got to come together and say, you know what? Before we go to bed, before we lay down, we need to get this right. We can get upset, but no sinning. No cursing your spouse out. That's a sin. No slapping your spouse upside the head. That's a sin. You can get angry. You can get upset with your spouse, but you can't sin. Loud talking, cussing at your spouse, that's a sin. That's when the sin come in at. So if two people come together, putting God first, that means doing what God say, applying the biblical principles until their relationship, that marriage and that relationship will work. And that's the reason why a lot of marriages end up in divorce, because God is not in the center of the relationship. People are not coming together and putting God first. They putting their own feelings first. Selfishness. They don't understand that you are called to be a servant. When you marry somebody, it's your job to serve your spouse. It's not about you. And selfishness is one of the number one reasons why divorce is so high, because people get married and think about themselves. Me. What can I benefit from the marriage? But if two people come together and put their spouse first, as a man and woman come together and put their spouse first and have the mindset, what can I do to make my spouse happy? What can I do to make my spouse happy? If two people come together with that mindset and forget about themselves and put God first, the man loving his wife like Christ, and the woman submitting herself to her husband as he loved her into submission by treating her like a queen, and she submit to him not because he's a dictator or she's inferior to him, but because his love for her, she falls beside him and support him, speaking to him, encourage him, and that's what submit mean. Come up on him and lift up, to rearrange and put in order in the Greek meaning of submit. And that's what a woman's supposed to do when it comes down to submission. It doesn't mean obey. It doesn't mean she don't have a voice. Don't mean she got to stay in her place. She can't say or do this. It just means that she come up on her man, support him, lift him up, encourage him, speak into his life, and hold him accountable. That's what submit means. You know, when I say submit, that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't mean the man control the woman. So if two people come together and do those things, the relationship will work. So connection, communication, and God. God got to be the center. God got to be, both people got to put God first. Hey, the Coach Rod, God bless you.